Secure line in the presidential palace in Ouagadougou shrieked to life at 3 a.m., slicing through the oppressive quiet of the night. Ibrahim Traoré's heart hammered against his ribs as he was violently pulled from sleep, a cold sweat instantly clinging to his skin. That satellite phone was a direct link to a very small, very exclusive list of world leaders. Only 5 others on the planet had the number. Mr. President, the voice on the other end was strained, a frayed mix of desperation and cold fury. Forgive the ungodly hour, but our nation is under attack as we speak. Traoré glanced through the reinforced windows, his security detail already moving with a heightened, frantic energy across the palace grounds. For weeks, the global news cycle had been saturated with the escalating conflict between Iran and Israel, a brutal, high-stakes war of attrition. But until this moment, Africa had managed to keep the violence of the Middle East at a safe distance. Minister, Traoré replied, his voice steady, the soldier in him taking command over the sleepy politician. How can Burkina Faso possibly be of assistance to you in this dark hour? The voice replied. Mr. President, Israeli jets may be hitting our cities, but their war extends far beyond our skies. They have been running clandestine operations across Africa, a shadow war that threatens any nation that dares to assert its own sovereignty. A chill ran down Traoré's spine. He had uncovered and expelled an Israeli surveillance team just months prior, but the true scope of their activities was clearly far greater than he had ever imagined. We have definitive intelligence, the minister continued, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper, that Israel plans to use African nations as deniable staging grounds for a new wave of attacks. They see your continent not as a partner, but as a playground for their military ambitions. What is it you want from us? Traoré asked, his mind racing to calculate the terrifying implications. We are not asking for your soldiers, Mr. President. We are offering you the tools for true independence, a partnership. In exchange for your cooperation, Iran will provide you with a new generation of military hardware, not just defensive systems, but offensive capabilities. Our most advanced, undetectable drone technology and a cutting-edge cyber warfare unit capable of neutralizing any threat to your government. We will make Burkina Faso the most technologically advanced military power in West Africa. The offer was intoxicating. To transform Burkina Faso from a landlocked, resource-dependent nation into an untouchable regional force was the stuff of dreams. In exchange for what? Also, as angstid door assets, President. A place to house our technical advisors and stage our assets. We need your permission to conduct covert drone surveillance and, if necessary, precision strikes against Israeli assets from your territory. Deniable operations that will never be traced back to you. Traoré felt the blood drain from his face. The minister was asking him to make Burkina Faso an active, albeit secret, combatant in a global shadow war. You were asking me to invite a war into my country. The war is already there, the minister retorted, his voice like steel. Israel has military advisors embedded in a dozen African nations. They use your ports for intelligence, your land for training. Your choice is not between war and peace. It is between remaining a pawn in their game or becoming a king in your own. After ending the call, Traoré's hands shook as he called for an emergency session with his cabinet at 4:00 a.m. Conference room was thick with tension, the polished table covered in freshly printed intelligence reports. His defense minister, his face etched with exhaustion, confirmed their worst fears. Sir, the Iranian intelligence is accurate. If anything, it's an understatement. They are building a comprehensive intelligence and military network across the continent. The intelligence chief presented the most chilling evidence. Israeli assets were not just observing. They were actively manipulating politics in at least 12 African countries. Ethiopian special forces trained by Israeli advisors were preparing for cross-border incursions. South African ports were being used for Israeli naval intelligence. And mineral extraction operations in the DRC were guarded by Israeli security contractors who reported directly to Tel Aviv. The Iranians are offering to burn it all to the ground, the foreign minister said, leaning forward. Their cyber units could cripple Israeli intelligence operations across the continent. Their drones could expose every hidden asset. But to accept this offer is to make us a target, Traoré said, rubbing the headache that was now pounding at his temples. He looked at the faces of his advisors and saw the same fear and uncertainty that he felt. Then he gave the order that would change everything. He had the Iranians on a secure video link for tomorrow evening. Tell them I am ready to discuss the terms of our new partnership. The next evening's conference was a revelation. The Iranians laid out in devastating detail the full extent of Israel's shadow war in Africa, complete with evidence of planned assassinations and economic sabotage. They then presented their offer of a comprehensive technology transfer that would make Burkina Faso a fortress. Traoré's response was not what they expected. "This intelligence does not just concern my country," said, his voice ringing with newfound authority. "It concerns all of Africa. Any partnership must be extended to the African Union. The tools you offer must be used to defend the entire continent." In the following months, a quiet revolution took place. Traoré, using the Iranian intelligence as leverage, forged a new Pan-African security alliance. An emergency session of the African Union was convened, where the evidence of foreign interference was laid bare for all to see. The result was a new African Cyber Defense Command, a shared intelligence network, and a protocol for collective response to external threats. Iran became a strategic technology partner, providing the hardware and training for this new continental defense shield. But the price was steep. Traoré survived 3 assassination attempts. His government was targeted by relentless cyber attacks, and Western nations imposed punishing economic sanctions. A year later, addressing the United Nations, Traoré looked out at the assembly of world leaders. "A year ago, I received a phone call in the dead of night and offered to join another nation's war. But what they truly offered us was the chance to fight our own war. The war for the soul of our continent, for our right to determine our own future." His voice echoed through the hall, a testament to the new reality that had been forged in the crucible of secret deals and shadow wars. Africa is no longer a battlefield for foreign powers. We are a fortress, and we will defend our sovereignty together. The applause that followed was not just for him, but for a continent that had finally found the courage to fight back in the shadows of the 21st century.